Jaya 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 Kunja Vihari Jaya Hari Nam Sankirtan ki jai. I'll just chant the prayer first. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gatamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् Great, that's amazing. Can everyone hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You go and tell him to just wait. Tell him to wait and try again. So you just have to wait. You just have to wait and try again. Just wait for 1 minute and try again. That's okay. That's okay. It happens. So 329:36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Etad Bhagavato Rupam Brahmana Paramatmanaha Paramatmanaha Param Pradhanam Purusham Daivam Karma Vicheshtitam Daivam Karma Vicheshtitam. Anyone?
Bhagavato
Bhagavato
Brahmanaha Paramatmanaha
Brahmanaha Paramatmana
Param Pradhanam Purusham
Param Pradhanam Purusham
Daivam Karma Vichestitam
Devam Karma Vicheshtitam. Etat, this Bhagavataha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rupam, form, Brahmanaha, of Brahman, Parama Atmanaha, of Paramatma, Param, transcendental, Pradhanam, chief, Purusham, personality, Daivam, spiritual, Karma Vicheshtitam, whose activities. This Purusha, whom the individual soul must approach, is the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Brahman and Paramatma. He is a transcendental chief personality and his activities are all spiritual. Purport, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In order to distinguish the personality whom the individual soul must approach, it is described herein that this Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the chief amongst all living entities and is the ultimate form of the impersonal Brahman effulgence and Paramatma manifestation. Since he is the origin of the Brahman effulgence and Paramatma manifestation, he is described herewith as the chief personality. It is confirmed in the Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanam. There are many eternal living entities, but he is the chief maintainer. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita also, where Lord Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. I am the origin of everything, including the Brahman and effulgence and Paramatma manifestation. His activities are transcendental, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Janma Karma Chame Divyam. The activities and appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are transcendental. They are not to be considered material. Anyone who knows this fact that the appearance, disappearance, and activities of the Lord are beyond material activities or material conception is liberated. Yo vedi tattvataha, tyaktva deham punarjanma. Such a person, after quitting his body, does not come back again to this material world, but goes to the Supreme Person. It is confirmed here, Purusha, Purusham Brajit. The living entity goes to the Supreme Personality simply by understanding his transcendental nature and activities. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janavallabh Gopinath Shamu. Shri Shri Radha Gopi Janavallabh Tavan Gaur Hari Jat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So please forgive me. So you're all ecstatic devotees. You all have ecstatic love for the Supreme Lord. You are in everything you do, you are ecstatic, but I am static. No. So I need your mercy so that I can start moving. This is the movement of Krishna consciousness. So unless we have the mercy, unless I have the mercy of the devotees, I cannot move. So Krishna consciousness is a very, very transcendental science, and unfortunately, without the mercy of all the devotees, it becomes very difficult to approach. So This is a month of Kartik. Yesterday, I was listening to a lecture by His Holiness, a clip by His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj, and in that he was mentioning that how we should follow our longing. It's like in the material world, they have saying that follow your bliss or follow whatever you like to do. So we have to follow our longing. So as spirit soul, we're all part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna is a very, very special personality. Yes, he's the supreme personality of Godhead, but he also has a personality. And his personality has this grace. Kishore Prabhu was saying that he is that type of person who acts in that way that your love for him keeps increasing, your longing for him keeps increasing. So जन्म कर्म चमे दिव्यम एवं योग इति तत्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति माम इति so Arjuna. So the birth and activities of Krishna are transcendental. Just as the sun appears, makes himself visible, and then later disappears or makes himself invisible. In the same way, Krishna's appearance and activities are constantly going on. In one universe, he disappears, in the next universe, he appears. Like this, it's constantly going on. That's why there are certain acharyas who want to want to only experience the Bhoma Leela of Krishna. They don't want to go back to Godhead, actually. There are some acharyas, some great devotees, because the specialty of Bhoma Leela is that Krishna actually takes birth and Krishna performs those activities. But in Goloka, those activities are not present. That's why Bhoma Leela is very special. So, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is very, very sweet and very, very special. Like recently, we just celebrated Sharad Purnima. So, Sharad Purnima actually is celebrating the sweetness of Krishna. And the sweetness of Krishna can only be experienced by the mercy of Sri Radha, who is the goddess of devotion. Sarva Lakshmi Mahi Prokta Radhika Paradevata. So, as we sing Shri Guru Charana Padma, so if you want to perform Kevala Bhakti, Para Bhakti, then the only hope is the mercy of the Paradevata, Srimati Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to actually glorify the personality of Srimati Radharani. Krishna in Bhagavatam, it's the activities of Krishna. Iti Drikshva Leelavir Ananda Kunde. The activities of Krishna are actually spoken about very extensively in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the activities of the pastimes of Krishna are spoken extensively, but the glorification of Srimati Radharani has not been done so extensively. Of course, since Sukadev Goswami is the parrot of Srimati Radharani, therefore it is explained, our acharyas explained that the reason why Sukadev Goswami did not speak the name of Radharani explicitly is because since Shukadev Goswami is a pet parrot of Srimati Radharani, therefore, when Shukadev Goswami, if he would speak the name of Radharani, then he would go into trance, into samadhi for many, many months. And that's why, because Parishit Maharaj only had a few days, therefore he did not speak. But just as for a servant, the master is everything. He sees the master everywhere. So, in the same way, our acharyas explained that every word in Bhagavatam is actually a glorification of Srimati Radharani. So, but at the same time, for the fallen conditioned souls to actually understand and realize that Srimati Radharani, through her causeless mercy, manifested herself in the personality of Lord Chaitanya. Of course, we say that Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya, but at the same time, since Mahaprabhu's mood is Radha Bhav, therefore, although Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but his mood is Radha, and that's why we worship him as Radha, and he acts as Radha. His activities in Chaitanya Charitamrita is personifying the personality of Srimati Radharani. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through his pastimes, is glorifying, is showing the personality of Srimati Radharani, starting with his initial pastimes to his very end pastimes in the Gambira, where he is day and night crying for the mercy, crying for the audience, crying for the remembrance of Krishna. So, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mattas Sarvam Pravartate. I am the origin of everything, including the Brahman, effulgence, and Paramatma manifestation. After that, what it says, Bhagavad Gita, iti matva bhajante maam. If one understands, if one sees me everywhere, sees me in everything and sees everything in me, then what is the result? Bodha bhava samanvita. You attain love, you attain feeling for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll speak something about Krishna, how wonderful Krishna is. Because just as in every month or in every festival, there's a presiding deity. So in this month also, we know that the presiding deity is Srimati Radharani. And what is the most pleasing activity to her? The most pleasing activity to her is actually when a devotee glorifies Krishna. That is what is most pleasing to her. So Krishna's personality is really, really amazing. It's so amazing. Recently, I was reading in Bhagavatam, the 7th canto, in the first chapter, how Krishna is equal to everyone. So, what does it mean to say that Krishna is equal to everyone? In the pastimes of Krishna, Krishna interacts with different devotees differently. Krishna interacts with his friends in a certain way. Krishna interacts with his parents in a certain way. And Krishna interacts with his consorts in another way. And is Jiva Goswami explains another astonishing thing, that Krishna manifests different ages at the same time. Because for a mother to love a child, the child has to be like a baby. If the child isn't grown up, even 15, 16-year-old boy, the mother's love, although we say that the mother's love is the mother's love, but still it does not reach its climax. The way the mother loves a child, a baby, is not the same way a mother loves, the same person after 10, 15 years. So Krishna manifests that baby form, that very small form in front of Mother Yashoda. And that's why her motherly feelings become fully ripened every time she sees Krishna. And to his friends, Krishna manifests the age of Kaumar. Kaumar is like not fully blossomed youth, but like you can say mid uh, mid youth. And in that particular age, Krishna is very playful, Krishna is very naughty, Krishna imitates the different animals in the Vrindavan forest, and it's a very kind of friendly time in Krishna's youth. That is the time, that is the age described in Bhagavatam, when Krishna actually was convinced his parents that he can go and graze the cows, graduate from calf grazing to cow grazing, etc., etc. And then towards his consorts, he manifests Kaishore. Kaishore is explained as, in today's time, in today's modern, just for us to understand that, like 16 going on 17. So that just like not fully blossomed, but just almost blossomed youth, like just that blossoming youth that Krishna is. That's why his consort described Krishna as a hero. They describe Krishna as a hero. So these three different ages, Krishna manifests at the same time, to different people, to different devotees at the same time. So in the same way as Krishna manifests his different ages at the same time, Krishna manifests different relationships with his devotees eternally. What to speak of Krishna manifesting himself as Lord Ramchandra, uh, Lord Nrsimhadev, etc., etc. So Krishna is very personal. So Krishna is not partial to anyone, but Krishna is partial to everyone. Therefore, Krishna is impartial. That was my realization, that Krishna is partial to everyone and therefore he is impartial. It's not that he is only partial to someone and not partial, he's partial to everyone, which means he deals with everyone according to their mood, according to their bhava. Bhava Grahi Janardana. Krishna fulfills the desire of everyone. And that's why Krishna is so special. It's explained that when Krishna plays his flute, then that same flute music, it's like calling the name of that person very feelingly, very personally. So that flute music goes up in the air and enters the ear of each person as if Krishna is only calling them and Krishna is calling their name. So this is Krishna's amazing personality, amazing personality. Uh, and this another quality of Krishna is how Krishna is the our best well-wisher. So Shishupal, we all know Shishupal criticized, blasphemed Krishna. And what is the price for blaspheming Krishna? The price for blaspheming or criticizing Krishna is you go to hell. You go to hell. According to Shastra, that's what happens when you blaspheme or criticize the Supreme Lord or his devotees. But Yudhishthira Maharaj is astonished that how is it that although Shishupal was constantly criticizing Krishna, still he merged into the body of Krishna. How it's possible? Of course, Prabhupada says that merging into the body of Krishna is considered hellish for Vaishnavas. Uh, those who are devotees in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we just want to serve Krishna. We want to be a servant of Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, Kita Janama Ho, my Lord, that I just want to be your Kita. I want to be an insect in the house of your devotee. But I want to be your servant. Even in that particular position, I want to be in the consciousness that I'm your eternal servant. But if we merge into the body of Krishna, then where is the question of servant or service? So the point here is Shishupal, when he merged into the body of Krishna, which means he was basically liberated and purified, which means once you're liberated and purified, then you get another chance to again practice devotional service. Of course, there are different points. One point is the Shishupal and Dantavakra, which is who actually are Jay and Vijay. That's one aspect, but also it's explained in Bhagavatam that it may not always necessarily be Jay and Vijay appearing as Shishupal and Dantavakra every time. It can also be just persons who are, very sinful and very antagonistic towards the Lord. So in any case, Krishna shows his infinite love. Like, imagine you blaspheme, criticize someone for so many days, so many months, and still at the end, he purifies you. He purifies you of all your contamination. So I always think of myself in regard to, my spiritual master, Prabhupada, that by my activities, by my mood, I'm constantly blaspheming them. I'm constantly criticizing them because I'm not humble. Even though they're helping me so much, I'm not humble in front of them. I don't take their words seriously. I show so much false ego in front of them, but still they're my best well-wisher. Still, like that's why Prabhupada says, I'm your eternal well-wisher. No matter what happens, I'm your well-wisher. So this is Krishna. How much love Krishna has for the living entities. It just never stops, never stops. It's so amazing. It's so astonishing that Krishna can never stop loving us. Like you see in Gopkumar, when Gopkumar went and embraced Krishna, Krishna was crying and Krishna said, "Oh Gopkumar, I thought you'd come in this lifetime. I thought you'd come in that lifetime. I was waiting for you for so long." So this is Krishna's love for the living entities, compassion. And then we speak about Krishna's beauty. This is actually most important thing. One time, one devotee um, asked Srila Prabhupada that Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, you told us that the first and second canto are represented by the lotus feet of Krishna, and so on and so forth. The different cantos represent different parts of Krishna's transcendental form. So, Prabhupada, is it true that until we reach the 10th canto, we should not see Krishna's face? Prabhupada said that how can you not see his face? How is it possible? Once you see Krishna's face, Krishna's beautiful smiling face, then you lose the desire to see anything else. And this is Prabhupada's infinite causeless mercy. Srila Prabhupada's purports show how much Krishna is so eager to give us mercy. We have heard so many times Prabhupada is saying that until you come to the 10th canto, I mean, until you read the first 9 cantos, don't approach the 10th canto, don't approach. But if you read the purports of Prabhupada, how many times Prabhupada is quoting the affairs of 10th canto in so many purports? So many. See, this shows Krishna's eagerness, that Krishna, on one hand, Prabhupada is saying that, until you qualify, don't go. But at the same time, Prabhupada is constantly giving us that thing that shows how much Krishna loves us. That actually the only consideration is Krishna's causeless mercy. Like one time, one devotee asked my spiritual master that, Maharaj, I feel I'm not qualified to join the temple. I'm not qualified. And of course, Maharaj said that just think about it. If a son leaves a father for a long time, say many years, and finally one day the son wants to come back to the father, will the father say that you're not qualified? First get purified, first uh, attain some qualification? No, the father will say, come back immediately. So in the same way, Krishna is just waiting for us to come back to him. So this is Krishna's infinite causeless mercy. Yeah, talking about his beauty. That Krishna is so beautiful, is so beautiful. Everything, every aspect of Krishna is so beautiful. His eyes, his smile, the way he plays his flute, the way he always is standing in threefold bending form, and the way his hair is decorated with the forest flowers of Vrindavan. And Krishna is so beautiful because every part of Krishna's personality and body, Krishna poses in that way to please every associate of Vrindavan. Like this famous story is there that how Krishna took uh, a flower from the ground and put it on the top of his turban. The most precious, the most important part of Krishna's turban, Krishna put it right there to glorify the flower. Then you speak about the animals, that how, when I first came to Krishna consciousness, that how I heard that Krishna every day, although Krishna has so many cows, uh, Nanda Maharaj has so many cows, Krishna personally embraces and kisses every cow. So this is Krishna's offering his beautiful personality to the cows. And then the way Krishna exhibits his beauty to his cowherd boys is Krishna shows how strong he is by killing the demons. And they really like that. They really like that. They like to see Krishna killing demons. And towards his mother and father, Krishna shows, exhibits his beauty by the way whenever it thunders or lightning, Krishna immediately goes and embraces them. Actually, it's so, Krishna's personality is so beautiful that during Damodar Leela, the aftermath of Damodar Leela, the after Damodar Leela, after Krishna is tied by Mother Yashoda, then after that Krishna uses that opportunity to actually liberate Nalakuvara and Manigriva by two trees. Krishna uses that knot to actually bring both the trees crashing to the ground, and they come out as personalities, as demigods, etc., etc. And then when that happens, then of course Nanda Maharaj becomes very concerned, that becomes upset with Mother Yashoda, that, how could you do this to such a small child? Why did you do this? See, just think about it. These huge trees, if they crashed, if they fell on Krishna, what would we, where would we right now? We'd be like, we'd have committed suicide. Why you did like this? And then Krishna says, yes, father, now on I'm not going to speak to mother anymore. And immediately after Krishna says this, Krishna jumps into the lap of Mother Yashoda and embraces her. So in this way, Krishna behaves in a very enchanting way towards his mother to invoke her affection. And then towards his consorts, Krishna plays beautiful flute, and it's explained that Krishna exhibits the form of crows and crows of cupids, that as soon as his consorts see Krishna, then they forget everything. They forget everything. Um, mm, Krishna completely bewilders and controls their mind. It's explained that when Krishna plays his flute towards his consorts, it's like actually Krishna is throwing a rope around their neck and pulling them forcefully. And because of that, they have no idea what they're doing. So this is Krishna's infinite, incredible beauty. And then how Krishna is the most renounced. Prabhupada says so many times that how, although Krishna has created so many universes, so many buildings, what to speak of buildings, so many universes, demigods, so many things, but Krishna is supremely renounced. And that's what Krishna showed in so many of his pastimes, so many of his pastimes. Like, for example, after Krishna kidnapped Rukmini and Krishna fulfill Rukmini's desire, Krishna said that don't think that I'm attracted by the beauty of Rukmini. No, I am just reciprocating with her devotion, with her devotion. So Krishna is supremely renounced, supremely renounced. And Krishna is fully satisfied in himself. So this is Krishna's amazing quality. And the most crushed jewel of all of Krishna's qualities is Krishna's dependence on his devotees. Prabhupada says that this is the most precious quality of Krishna, that he is dependent on his devotees. Although Krishna is a supreme Lord, but in the topmost abode of the spiritual world in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna transcendentally acts on that platform that he is not God. Krishna never behaves like he is God in Vrindavan. Of course, in Bhoma Vrindavan, in the Vrindavan, in the material world, or in Bhoma Vrindavan, yes, Krishna kills demons, but in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna never kills demons. Even in Bhoma Vrindavan, when Krishna kills demons, Prabhupada says that it is not Krishna killing the demons, it is the Vishnu portion who is within Krishna who is killing the demons. That's why, because Krishna's only business is to enjoy. He's a supreme enjoyer. So that's why, everyone likes Krishna so much, because everyone wants to enjoy, and Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. So Krishna is only interested in enjoying with his devotees. That is Krishna's greatest pleasure, greatest happiness. So this is about Krishna's renunciation. Krishna's renunciation. So in this purport, when we see these wonderful qualities of Krishna and how Krishna is original of everything, including Brahman and Paramatma manifestation, then we see that how the only person who is capable of fulfilling our desire to love and to be loved, that desire can only be fulfilled by Krishna. So that's why we have to surrender unto Krishna. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori. In that particular verse, in that particular song, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that Shikhaye Sharanagati Bhakatera Pran, which means that the life and soul of devotion, Pran means the life and soul, the life air, is Sharanagati, is surrender. So Krishna is fully surrendered to his devotees. And that's why his devotees, they feel that desire to love and desire to be loved is fully satisfied only by Krishna. So this is Krishna, the crest jewel of all of Krishna's qualities. Of course, Krishna has so many qualities, but this is the crest jewel of all Krishna's qualities. So by the association of Krishna's devotees, by their mercy, by pleasing them, by serving them, and what is the greatest service to Krishna's devotees? The greatest service to Krishna's devotees is to remind them about Krishna, to tell them about Krishna, to glorify Krishna in front of them, to tell them about the pastimes of Krishna. This is the greatest service we can do to a devotee. So when we please a devotee in this way, we're reminding them about Krishna. Yes, we can do many things for a devotee. We can give money, we can even materially give help. But what is the best service we can do to Krishna's devotees? The best service is to remind them about Krishna. So when we do this service to Krishna's devotees by reminding them about Krishna, by increasing their attraction towards Krishna, then we get their undeserved blessings. And as a result of the undeserved blessings, what happens? By their mercy, we come on the platform of at least goodness. We come to the platform of goodness. And when we come to the platform of goodness, then what happens? Then we are able to appreciate the transcendental activities of Krishna. When we are able to appreciate the transcendental activities of Krishna, when we become attracted to Krishna, then we develop a deep desire to go back home to the spiritual world. So this whole month of Kartik is for this purpose, is for us to develop this deep desire to go back to the spiritual world. Or in Mahaprabhu's movement, the deep desire to situate ourselves on that platform of Prema Bhakti. So that desire is very important, because unless we have that deep desire to situate ourselves on the platform of love of Godhead, we will not do what is required for us to get there. What is required for us to get there? Man mana bhava, to think of Krishna. This is the most important thing, to think of Krishna. That is what Krishna consciousness means, to always think of Krishna. Prabhupada is so encouraging in his purports, and Prabhupada says that regardless of who you may be, what may be your situation, if you think of Krishna, the more and more you think of Krishna, then the spiritual part of your personality will increase and the material part will decrease. And as a result of that, just by thinking of Krishna, just by hearing about Krishna, by chanting about Krishna, you can revive your spiritual body. This is Prabhupada's words, Prabhupada's purport. So we have to have this very strong desire. That's why that's the purpose of doing austerities or doing extra rounds or whatever in this month of Kartik. The purpose of all these things is to develop that deep, intense greed to attain that consciousness, to approach that consciousness, which is required to at least mentally situate ourselves in the spiritual world. This is very important for us as devotees. As time goes on, as years pass by, more and more we realize only one thing, that everything in this world is temporary. The praise that people give us is temporary. Even the results that we may achieve, at least from this earthly perspective, from our perspective, is not eternal. is not eternal. But the only thing which is eternal is our relationship with Krishna, is our service to Krishna. So it is not possible to be in that consciousness of serving Krishna unless we develop love for Krishna, unless we increase our attraction towards Krishna. His Holiness Gorgovind Maharaj says that you cannot surrender unto Krishna unless you develop love for him. If you surrender unto him in that way without developing love for him, it's just artificial. Artificial. So that's why it's very important for us in this month of Kartik to increase our attraction to him by meditating on his qualities, his pastimes, the holy places. The holy places are very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Vrindavan Dham is very, very powerful. We have to remember that Dham has the capability, Dham Vas alone has the capability to give us love of God. It's so powerful. So what does it mean to do Dham Vas? It means to remember the places with love. So when you remember the places, Krishna's Vrindavan Dham, Radharani's Vrindavan Dham, with love and affection, then those dhams will inundate the heart with attraction, affection for the divine couple. So these places are very powerful. By meditating on the dham, it's very, very powerful. That's why Narottam Das Thakur in his songs has taken so much trouble to glorify Vrindavan. Why? So that we can become attracted, we can meditate, and we can actually develop affection for the dham. Even Krishna, even Radharani, they have so much affection for the dham. They have so much love for the dham. The dust of Vrindavan is so special that it's, of course, Vrindavan Dham is Chintamani, it's wish fulfilling. So the dust of Vrindavan is so special. So anyone who has any desire in Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan, the dham fulfills that desire. And because of that, they're so attached to the dham. That's why they don't want to go anywhere else. Why is it that, especially the Vrajvasis, like when Krishna left Vrindavan, why didn't they go? Why didn't they leave Vrindavan and go to where Krishna was? His Holiness Shivara Maharaj mentions, because they're so attached to Vrindavan. Srimati Radharani mentions that she will not use anything, she will not wear anything which is not made in Vrindavan, which is not from Vrindavan. So by meditating on the qualities, the pastimes, on the dham, on the devotees of Krishna in this month of Kartik, by constantly doing that, we develop attraction, and when there is attraction, their eagerness and greed can manifest. So what is greed? Basically, greed means that I will do whatever it takes. I will go beyond my comfort zone, what I am comfortable. My ego, my false ego, my mind, my intelligence, I will go beyond that to actually attain my goal. Why? Because that's the reason why I have been given this human body, for this endeavor, to perform this tapasya. And the only thing we have to do is we have to perform tapasya. We have to go beyond our comfort zone. And when we go, when we are ready to do that, repeatedly go beyond our comfort zone, then Krishna will inundate our heart with joy, because ultimately it's a matter of relationship. So when we do something for Krishna, when we do something for Radharani beyond our comfort zone, then their heart melts. And that's the whole purpose of our austerity. The purpose of our austerity, the purpose of going the extra mile, is not to glorify ourselves, is not to put a check mark in our list that, oh, I did so much. But the only purpose is to melt Krishna's heart. That I want to develop a loving relationship with you. I am unable to, I am struggling. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Please forgive me. Oh Krishna, please forgive me. Narottam Das Thakur says, is praying to Krishna, that Krishna, even though I committed so many offenses, but I still think of you as my Lord and Master. So please consider that, and please give me the strength to become your pure devotee. So that's why Narottam Das Thakur's writings, yes, Narottam Das Thakur's disappearance is very, very special. And that's why Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said that if anyone wants to attain Krishna Prem, then one should read these two books, uh, Prarthana and Prem Bhakti Chandrika. And that's why Srila Prabhupada has included the first song of Prem Bhakti Chandrika, the first part of some part of the first song of Prem Bhakti Chandrika as Guru Puja. So yeah, it's very, very powerful. And Lord Chaitanya, he actually that's why Lord Chaitanya, you see in any part of Chaitanya Charitamrita that Lord Chaitanya is constantly chanting and hearing about Krishna. Anywhere, Mahaprabhu is like, you see in Gambhira, Mahaprabhu, what he was doing, he was engaging in Kirtan constantly, and every now and then, regularly, he was hearing about the glories of Krishna from Ramandar Roy and Swarup Damodar. Every part of Lord Chaitanya's, at least after Mahaprabhu, Bhakta Bhav Angikar, after he revealed himself as Srimati Radharani, as the greatest devotee in that mood, after Mahaprabhu started enacting those pastimes, starting from going to Gaya. From that time, you can see that how Lord Chaitanya is constantly doing two things: doing kirtan and hearing. So this hearing about Krishna is very, very important, extremely important. We have to hear about Krishna. We have to make time to read Prabhupada's books. We have to make time to hear about Krishna. Because without hearing about Krishna, how will we know Krishna's personality? How will we understand who Krishna is? And unless we know who Krishna is, how will we become attracted by him? So that's why hearing about Krishna is very, very important. And especially the purports of Prabhupada. Because I have not, generally, I can say that the extent of mercy which is bestowed in Prabhupada's purports, the same level of mercy is not bestowed anywhere else. So it's very, very special. Like I said, that although Prabhupada is saying that 10th canto is after 9 cantos, but so many purports of 9 cantos about the 10th canto only. Nectar of 10th canto is there in so many purports, all the 9, first canto, second canto, third canto, second canto, there's a verse, it's completely technical verse. You read the verse, you're like, oh no, it's so technical. But then you read the purport, and Prabhupada is speaking about Vrindavan. So this shows Prabhupada's amazing mercy. What to speak of Bhagavad, even Bhagavad Gita also. Prabhupada speaks about spontaneous devotion, Bhagavad Gita. I mean, it's like, the Prabhupada is so merciful. And you become attracted to Prabhupada by reading, by hearing about these things. And naturally, when you become attracted to Prabhupada, then you want to surrender to Prabhupada, you want to give your life to Prabhupada. So hearing about Krishna is essential. By reading Prabhupada's purports, you're doing two things. One thing is you're increasing your attraction to Krishna, and second is you're increasing your attraction to Prabhupada. So it's very important, attraction to Guru. I'll end with this statement. His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj says that just by hearing the glories of Krishna from a pure devotee, automatically the ointment of love is smeared upon your eyes, automatically. So this is how powerful the hearing process is. This is how powerful it is to associate with Prabhupada through his purports. Because when you read the words written by Prabhupada, you are directly associating with Prabhupada's consciousness. So yeah, it's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So yeah, we may do so many things, but in this month of Kartik, the most important is, of course, our chanting and hearing. Hearing is very, very important. Very, very important. And hearing, when I speak about hearing, specifically reading Prabhupada's purports, studying Prabhupada's, trying to understand Prabhupada's purports, it's very, very important for us. Now, one time a spiritual master was saying that when you read Prabhupada's purports, it's just like Prabhupada is taking you by the hand, guiding you step by step back to the spiritual world, step by step. This is what Prabhupada's purports does. I mean, I'm just quoting. So it's extremely powerful, very, very powerful. Prabhupada said, even in one, recently I was hearing that Prabhupada said that was telling one person, the reason why you are feeling disturbed, the reason why you're feeling agitated, the reason why you're not feeling satisfied in your bhakti is because you're not reading my books. So if you read my books, then all your desires, everything will be answered. You'll be satisfied. So I would like to end here. Anyone has any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances of Rasta Prabhupada. Prabhu, I had a question. In the class you mentioned that Krishna, whatever, he sanctions everything, like every desire, everything. So from a perspective, from a practicing devotee perspective, how can we not, how can I protect myself that I don't become complacent with that nature of Krishna, and I always be very vigilant in the approach of Krishna, of what I approach him for, or gratitude is there, but sometimes you do get overwhelmed, so you do approach him, you pray for strength, you pray for, so how, I want to understand is like, what is the line and how to be careful in not getting, do I make sense?
Yeah. So that's why the solution is reading Prabhupada's books. Because when you read Prabhupada's purports, you understand what to pray for. So generally, the most important prayer of all devotees is actually to pray for pure devotional service. So we have to pray for pure devotional service. That should be behind every prayer. And actually, His Grace Haripashad Prabhu mentioned one time that Anya Bilash Ita Shunyam. So Rupa Goswami could have said Anya Bilasha, but Anya Bilash Ita. So Ita refers to an exception. So in an exceptional case, one can pray, like for example, say, a car is coming towards you like at full force. So at that stage, if you pray that my Lord, please protect me, then that's an emergency case. You still can, you are still a pure devotee. So yeah, in emergency cases, but it should be an emergency. I mean, sometimes if something is impeding our service very badly, then we can ask Krishna, please help me. That's okay. But generally, the prayer should be for pure devotional service. We should pray for pure devotional service. That's the general.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Yeah. First of all, Prabhuji, thank you so much. It was such a nice class. Your realization, Krishna is partial to everyone. So in one sense, he's impartial. That was a very nice point. And how you connected, Prabhuji. It was wonderful class today. Very uplifting class. Prabhuji, in the class, you made a statement about the most pleasing thing to a devotee, to a pure devotee, is how we make them remember Krishna. Right?
Yes.
Prabhuji, can you shed some more light on that? Elaborate it a little more.
Yeah. So the thing is that, Prabhupada says one devotee, actually, I have to find the reference, but this is Prabhupada's conversation is there. So one devotee tells to Prabhupada, when I'm doing service, like some service he was doing, I don't know, maybe making garlands or something, some practical service he was doing. Prabhupada says, he told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I am remembering how the cowherd boys, they are performing their devotion. Those stories are coming in my mind. Asked Prabhupada, so Prabhupada said, yeah, very good. You should cultivate that mood. It's very good for you. The devotee said, no, Prabhupada, I am not pure. Maybe it's just coming from the mind. Prabhupada said, if it's coming during service, you must cultivate. So the point is that generally, of course, it's not something to be imitated or mentally imagined or anything, but genuinely, the pastimes of Krishna that one is most attracted to, or you can say one aspires to be attracted to. Like, for example, say in some kirtan, when a pure devotee Pure devotee is very important. Pure devotee is speaking, pure devotee is singing, and you feel something special. You remember something, you feel something. So that shows where you want to go, where you're. I mean, it's not something that happens one time. It happens again and again and again. So then you can understand you have an attraction to that. Now, so the best way you can, this service you can do to a devotee is actually to remind him of the pastimes, remind him of the qualities of Krishna that is specifically relevant to that person's relationship with Krishna. And if you spend time with a devotee, you can understand. You can how to say, you can gauge this thing. Oh, this devotee is most attracted to this pastimes of Lord Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya. So when we remind them of the pastimes, we remind them of the qualities of Krishna, of the divine couple, then that makes them very much enchanted and makes them very enlivened in Krishna consciousness. Because also the saying is there, that when a devotee speaks, then Krishna is speaking through them. So you're actually reciprocating